I recently realized that we are at war. Now, we're not in a physical war. We're not fighting anybody, or at least we're not. Some people are in the world. But we're in this war for our lives. What does that mean? I was studying for a math exam, not too long ago, and I realized that all the platforms, like the one you're watching this on, are not actually incentivized for you to have a good life. They don't actually care about you, which is kind of obvious. I mean, why would they? But you have to think about they actually want you to fail. And it's not because they're evil people, the designing them, or because they're evil, the companies or the Jews or whatever you want to blame it on. It's not because anybody's purely evil. It's rather because that's simply what they're incentivized to do. That's what they have a reason to do. That's what an incentive is. What do I mean by that? Platforms like this one are incentivized to keep you on for as long as possible. The only way they make money is by you watching these sorts of videos. But more than watching these videos, they make money from keeping you on the platform for as long as possible. Now, does that sound like the recipe for a good life? Staying on these platforms for as long as possible. Not for you, no, because generally a good life happens outside. It happens doing work, creating stuff, meeting with friends, having experiences, real experiences, not experiences on the phone or on whatever you're watching this on. So you have to realize that we are at war. We, as individuals, are at war, and as a collective, but as individuals specifically, are at war with these companies and the people that make the products. Because it's a battle for our attention and for our lifetime. They try to make the apps as addictive as possible to keep you on the longest. You fight to keep your sovereignty and use your own time the way you want to use it, not the way somebody else wants you to use it. You want to use your time to achieve your goals, not somebody else's. Somebody else's meaning raising quarterly revenue, yearly revenue, whatever. So we are at war, and that's also why it's hard. That's why it's hard to get off these platforms. That's why we come back to them over and over, especially when we know we shouldn't, when we know we should be studying for something, working on something, developing ourselves. It's because they have thousands of engineers working on this. So you could literally see yourself as a one man, one woman against a massive battlefield of engineers typing away at their keyboards, integrating all sorts of features into this to make it ever so more addictive to keep you on. So we are at war. And to win this war, it's simple. Just get out there and live your own life, which is maybe not what you want to hear, but it's not very complicated. It's not no amount of videos will make you fulfilled. No amount of videos will make you happy. No amount of videos will get you to the life you want. One more video won't either. But it's one video at a time that your life is ruined, and then my life was ruined, a bit like this building actually. So instead of being in this building, go out into, let me show you, into the beautiful outdoors. Look at that. That's pretty nice. And concretely, what can you do? Look at the link in the description. I'll say that. Because I see this as a movement, and this is just part of the movement. It's a general war on the darkness in the world, and we need people like you to be beacons of light for hope for those around them. So yes, improve your own life, but also help others. So we are at war, and fight well.